Are you ready to make a difference in the lives of blinded veterans? Visit BVA.org, click on Programs, then select Ambassadors to learn more and register. Join the Blinded Veterans Association and help empower others today.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Steve Baskis. As we move through November and through the heart of the holiday season, I want to express our gratitude to each and every one of you for listening and supporting the show. If you enjoy what you hear, we'd love for you to subscribe and share your favorite episode with your friends and family. Wishing you a wonderful Thanksgiving. And now, let's dive into today's episode. As we kick off today's episode, let's take a moment to highlight recent news and updates that keep us connected and informed. Here's Hope to read us some of the latest stories shaping our community.
Hello, listeners. Today we're sharing some important stories and updates from the Blinded Veterans Association, especially in light of Veterans Day and other events impacting our veteran community. First, a heartfelt Happy Veterans Day to all who have served and continue to serve. We hope November 11th was a meaningful day of honor and reflection. Veterans Day observance and events on Veterans Day. Arlington National Cemetery hosted the 71st National Veterans Day observance. This year's theme, A Legacy of Loyalty and Service, paid tribute to the dedication and commitment of veterans past and present. The observance, organized by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Fleet Reserve Association, featured a presidential wreath laying at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. For those who couldn't attend in person, the ceremony was streamed live on YouTube, offering a chance for everyone to join in honoring our veterans. New music honoring veterans. We're also excited to spotlight BVA member and Army veteran Dan Kern, who has recently released 2 albums titled We Salute You and Thank You Veterans. These albums, available now, are dedicated to the service and sacrifices of veterans. Dan's music truly brings the experiences of veterans to life in a powerful way. These are albums worth listening to, whether you're a veteran or someone who values their service. White Cane Safety Day. Awareness on October 15th, BVA's Greater Houston Regional Group took part in the City of Houston's White Cane Day celebrations. This annual event is a time to raise awareness about the resilience and independence of people who are blind or visually impaired. White Cane Day serves as a reminder of the importance of accessibility and inclusion for all members of our community. It was inspiring to see so many from the Greater Houston area come together to support this cause. November is National Diabetes Month, and we want to bring attention to the impact of diabetes on veterans. With so many veterans affected by diabetes or at risk of developing it, this month is a reminder of the importance of early detection and lifestyle choices that can help prevent or manage the disease. Diabetes is a significant contributor to vision loss and other health complications, so veterans and their families are encouraged to explore resources for support, both through ongoing research and proactive health management.
Although Veterans Day has passed, we want to take a moment to share a letter from BVA National President Paul Mims. His words remind us of the enduring strength and dedication that veterans bring to our nation every day.
A Veterans Day message from BVA National President Paul Mims. Veterans Day is a special day for all of us who have served our country on the battlefield, on the high seas, or aboard powerful aircraft. Like all my veteran friends and acquaintances, I look forward to November 11th every year. This year will be especially meaningful for me personally as I participate in the annual Veterans Day observance at Arlington National Cemetery in my capacity as the National President of the Blinded Veterans Association, BVA. No matter where I have been each year on this day, I always remember the service and the profound sacrifices of the veterans I have known throughout my life. In my career with the Department of Veterans Affairs, and now, as the National President of BVA, I have met hundreds of men and women, unmatched in their courage and willingness to give all in defense of our freedoms. Included in my thoughts, this Veterans Day will be a remarkable, blinded veteran who recently joined BVA. The inspiring story of Korean War veteran Cecil Phipps, which will be read here shortly, relates the Army Corporal's nearly 3-year loss of freedom in Korea as a prisoner of war, and now his battle with loss of sight at age 94. An awareness of Cecil's experience as a POW is invaluable for all who now enjoy the freedoms made possible by the sacrifices of our veterans. After learning more about Cecil, may we reflect on the strength and resilience of those who have served, and remember their contributions as we honor Veterans Day together.
So not too long ago, I got the chance to give Cecil a phone call and to really check in on him and see what he's up to nowadays. Let's listen in. I got my recorder. So I got my recorder now. I really wanted to talk with you because I'm a blind veteran myself. I'm a young service member. I lost my sight in combat in Iraq. But I help do the podcast, a radio show for the Blinded Veterans Association. And I know you're a member. And so I wanted to ask you a few questions about your blindness and also your service. And is that okay?
Yeah.
Why are you in Arizona? Is this where you grew up, or is this where your family's from?
It's warmer in the winter. That's why I'm here.
I understand. You're from Iowa, though, correct?
Yes.
How long have you been blind now, Cecil?
What's that?
How long have you been blind?
Well, I've been wearing glasses ever since I come home from service. And it's been getting gradually worse all the time. I'm not completely blind. I can see pretty much everything except that my sight keeps changing. Like every year or two, I have to have new glasses because it's shifted around a lot. Right now, I can see pretty good. But I can't read much of anything.
I understand. So it's more low vision. It's you have a visual impairment, and it's causing you some trouble seeing certain kinds of things like text.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any training, or has anybody helped you with using specific devices or technology?
Oh, yes.
So after asking Cecil this question, he explained to me that the Blinded Veterans Association connected him with some resources, and they issued him a device that helps him read.
Got me a reader that he put out, and it's just like a TV screen, and you lay your book on this reader, and it magnifies it to where you can... or I can anyway, I can read the whole book. But if I was to try to read the book itself, it's pretty fine print, and I can't make out the letters at all.
It's amazing the technology that exists.
Yeah.
What do you like reading, Cecil?
I read a lot of Westerns.
Is there any particular one that you enjoyed?
Well, I mostly all of them. They're set in the old. Most of them were set in the Old West before they had cars, and so everybody's on horseback.
I understand. Why is it important? Do you think for you to share your story?
Well, I wrote it for my family, and then it spread out from there. I found out there were a lot of people interested in my story.
Well, I think it's you say you were initially doing it for your family. It sounds like you are close with your family. Is that accurate? And you must have had a great support network when you returned home. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, my wife was very good support for me.
That's wonderful. That's very good to hear. You say freedom doesn't come free, correct? What is the exact statement that you like to share or convey?
Freedom is not free.
How would you describe that to people? Why is that the case?
Because all of the soldiers that are in the Army, and particularly the ones that were in wartime, have earned their freedom.
I appreciate your service and understand, as a service member myself, your sacrifice and selfless service. So I commend you and thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
I had good friends who died next to me in Iraq, so I understand what it means to lose friends and to lose people that are your brothers and sisters, really, at the end of the day. And I just thank you for your time right now. Do you have any kind of message or any kind of something you'd like to say? Because I'm recording you, and I just would love to hear anything that you would like to share. Maybe something that people don't ask you. You know, just anything you want to say.
A friend of mine and I joined a service together. We went through basic training, and then we asked for overseas assignment. Well, he got sick in basic training, and they moved him to a different outfit. I never saw him again. But he died in Korea on August 4th, which is about 3 days after I got there. I was on the front line, and I had no idea he was anywhere in the area at all. And so I didn't find that out until I got home from prison camp in North Korea. But it was a shock to me when I did find out. I talked to his family, and I really felt bad about it, but there was nothing I could do about it. But life is life and war is war.
How is your health? How are you? You're going through some challenging times now, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I am not able to walk very well. I use a walker all the time. I could still walk, but it's not easy. But I get by. I'm 94 years old, and I just keep doing what I can do, and I will as long as I can.
You know, the Blinded Veterans Association, I guess, reached out to you, correct? And you became a member. Do you have anything you'd like to say about the Blinded Veterans Association? Because that's what this is for. Is I'm going to share your story with the organization and the veterans who are blind and low vision. So I don't know if there's anything you'd like to say about the organization.
They're the ones that got me the reader.
Okay. So maybe, I guess, would you like to thank them, or do you have a message to the
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, I would like to thank them, and I use
Unfortunately,
it a lot.
around this time in the phone call, Cecil had to go. He was going to the doctor.
Right now, I'm almost to the doctor's office.
I'll let you go, Cecil. I didn't realize you were going to the doctor. Take care, Cecil. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Goodbye. Out of respect for Cecil, I didn't want to ask him too many questions. He's already conducted many interviews with different groups and organizations that you can find on the internet. Here in the show notes, there'll be a link that you can follow to learn more about Cecil. I truly enjoyed my conversation with him. It was a true honor to meet Cecil. I hope you enjoyed what we had to say. In the spirit of remembrance and resilience, we now bring you the remarkable story of Korean War veteran Cecil Phipps, a brave soldier that endured the hardships of being a prisoner of war.
Can you imagine spending over 1,000 days as a prisoner of war in a North Korean labor camp, losing over 100 pounds and wondering if you will ever return home? That is exactly what BVA member Corporal Cecil Phipps lived through. Cecil was born on May 20th, 1930, enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1950, and was quickly sent to Okinawa, Japan. Just 1 month later, the Korean War broke out, and Cecil was shipped to Busan, Korea, on August 1st, 1950, via a Japanese fishing boat. Cecil fought on the front lines through the country into North Korea until November of 1950. On November 28th, Cecil was separated from his unit during combat and captured as a POW by Chinese communist soldiers. Cecil, along with other POWs, was marched into China before being held in North Korea at Pyeongtaung Camp and Camp 3. For 33 months, Cecil was fed only 2 bowls of millet per day and dropped from 195 pounds to 75 pounds. He survived winters in a small shack with 10 to 16 other men, sharing body heat to stay warm. Despite the conditions, Cecil managed to maintain his morale. Although it wasn't easy, he had a lot of faith in God and a lot of faith in the United States. Cecil and the other POWs talked to each other about what they left behind, maintaining hope that one day they would be released. Finally, on August 28, 1953, via trucks, trains, helicopters, and boats, Cecil and a few other POWs were released to the United States. Cecil was welcomed home to Fort Dodge, Iowa, by the mayor in a ceremony at City Hall. Cecil found work, got married, and seemed to adjust back to civilian life. For 25 years, Cecil quietly battled the memories that would eat most people alive. Some friends of mine had been talking to me about coming to these POW meetings. I wasn't really interested. I thought, they'll all be in there crying about all the problems they had, and I had just as many as they did. But a friend of mine finally convinced me to go to one of them, and I did, and it was nice to talk to somebody who'd been there, went through the same thing you did. They knew what you were saying. Cecil found solace in the Korean War ex-POW Association meetings, and is still a member 20 years later. Freedom is not free, Cecil states. But it was worth it. They, South Koreans, are very thankful for their freedoms. They were very appreciative we were there. Today, Cecil is adjusting to life with sight loss. Despite the trials he went through and the trials that come with sight loss, Cecil continues to persevere and help others by telling his stories and connecting with other POWs and veterans dealing with sight loss.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Visions of BVA. We hope you enjoyed our discussion and found it insightful. If you like what you heard, please consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving a rating or review on your favorite platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and improve our show. Don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and behind-the-scenes content. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future episodes. Stay connected, stay informed, and we'll see you next time on Visions of BVA. This is Steve Baskis, signing off.
You're listening to a BVA production.